Good morning. I'm Kurt Caraway, and we're here at Common Coffee for our town. This morning we're going to be talking with Mark Sattler, who's running for Ward 3 of Carson City Board of Supervisors. Right now we're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsor.
What's the role of a healthcare system? Is it to make you better when you're sick? To mend you when you're injured? Are you ready to live healthier? Start today at herestoyourhealth.net, a free service of Carson Tahoe Regional Healthcare.
And we're back, and we're talking with Mark Sattler, running for Board of Supervisors. Good morning.
Good morning.
So tell us a little bit about you, so people who don't...
Okay, my name's Mark Sattler, running for Ward 3 Supervisor. I first came to Nevada, moved here in 1971. I came through in 1969 when I was in the Air Force on my way to Okinawa. Had some family here, decided I was going to come back here. Moved here in 71. Met my wife Mary at UNR in 73. We were married in 74. We built our home over on Fremont Street, moved in 76. We're still there today. My family, I have a daughter Rachel who's 28, a son Mark who's 27, a lovely daughter-in-law named Allie, a granddaughter Britton who's 3, and another granddaughter named Audrey who was born April 22nd, just a couple weeks ago. So, who we're going over to see over Memorial Weekend.
All right.
My background professionally, we worked at Carson Tahoe Hospital in the purchasing department. Started there in 74. By 75, I was head of the department till 86. I decided to go into sales instead of buying, and went into medical sales at that time, and I'm still doing that today, working for Mid-Valley Surgical Supply, calling on most of the doctors, clinics, hospitals out in this area, selling medical supplies, everything from Band-Aids to power tables. So that's pretty much my personal background. As far as affiliations with the city and my involvement, in 1993 I'm a golfer, and in 1993 I applied for an opening on the Golf Course Advisory Committee. And they at that time ran Eagle Valley. There was a committee that oversaw it and then reported to the Board of Supervisors. I was selected for that position, and I was chairman in 95, 96 when they decided to form a 501c3 corporation and put the golf course under that. So I was asked to and applied for the board of the Carson City Municipal Golf Corporation, again selected by the Board of Supervisors for that. I'm still on that presently to this day. I was chairman of that from 2003 to 99 to 2003. My other background was one of the founding members of the Western Nevada College Golf Committee, which puts on, it'll be our 13th annual tournament this year, and we've raised well over $100,000 for the college through that tournament, working with Elaine Jesse and the folks up there. And I'm also on the debt commission, started last year in 09 and this year for the city. So that's kind of my relationship.
And now you've decided to throw your hat in the ring for the Board of Supervisors. How did you come through that decision?
Actually, this started a long time ago, back when around 93 when I started with it. I've always been interested in politics, and when I got involved with the golf course, especially when we took over with the nonprofit corporation, we had a heavy relationship with the city. I mean, it seemed like every month we were at the board meetings wanting to know with angry golfers what was going on, this sort of thing. But it was around that time, Kay Bennett was there then, and it's before Pete Livermore, whose office I'm looking to fill, even filed. Kay had mentioned to me if I was interested maybe in running for supervisor. At that time I had kids still, teenagers, young teenagers, and it just wasn't good timing, but it kind of planted the seed, and I've had an interest in it, and I've followed politics a lot ever since, Kurt, and so that's kind of where it came from. But again, that's kind of how it all started and got my interest up, and again, I've just always been involved and like to follow what's going on in Carson City, and I just kind of a natural evolution, I think. So.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back and talk some more.
At Dick Company's Capital Ford Mazda Hyundai, we're overstocked. And now our select pre-owned vehicles are priced right and ready for a new home. Our factory-certified vehicles are a great buy and feature exceptional warranties. Plus, all our pre-owned vehicles are quality assured by AutoCheck, so you get peace of mind with your purchase. You deserve the best, and that's what we offer at award-winning Dick Company's Capital Ford Mazda Hyundai, just 29 miles south of Reno.
And we're back. We're talking with Mark Sattler, who's running for Board of Supervisors. Now, what are the main issues that you see that are going to be facing the board that you want to tackle?
There's quite a number of them. Of course, number one in everybody's mind is more jobs for Carson City.
Yeah.
And the Board of Supervisors can't create a job except for within the city, and unfortunately there we're laying people off instead of hiring. But that's the number one thing. Another big problem right behind that in my mind is the gain and drug issue, which I think kind of run hand in hand. Again, the board doesn't have a lot of control over that, but can support the sheriffs and that sort of thing in that aspect. But one thing I brought out in the paper early on when I was interviewed on the 5th of March is that mentioning the city, they tend to get bloated during good times, and they'd have to drastically downsize during recessions. And we're going through that. We're down about 100 employees right now. My thing is, one of the strong things I feel is we're still running and we're still functioning. So as the economy turns around, as it will, we need to make sure, I feel, that the monies as they start to come in go into reserves to help prevent this again or have some protection at that time. They did the infrastructure, taking care of our buildings, lands, etc. The last thing we need to do is go out and start hiring all those employees back again. They need to be hired on an emergency as needed kind of basis, and we need to keep Carson City running lean. That's one thing I feel.
All right. Now, in terms of, creating jobs, of course, there's the big Carson Nugget development project, and that's being touted as something to create a lot of jobs. Now, how do you feel about
I think in concept, having attended the meeting last night, I think they're going down the right road. I wish we weren't spending $165,000 to find out, but you have to spend money, I guess, to find out what you need and get results. My main thing on that project and any other project, it has to meet 3 criteria. First, is it needed and is it wanted? We've already voted a library down once, but this isn't a different concept. This is the other was just to build a new library. This is part of a whole big project. Number 2, is it wanted by the people and is it needed? Then the next thing is, what is the total cost? Not just to build it, to maintain it, to staff it into the future. And number 3, how we're going to pay for it. And I think we need to continue going down this road with the library, looking as a possibility for a good thing for downtown. But until those questions are answered, you really can't go forward with it. And all else fails, I think it goes back to the people for a vote on it. I mean, we have the opportunity to try to sell this, to pitch this if it is a really good thing, and that's what the job is. But if the people still aren't buying it, you just can't do it. And it's a bad economic time right now. I know what they're trying to do to stimulate, but I mean, is it something if really to simplify it, in my mind, would be 2 things. Either number 1, have them just deed the land to us so it's not a public-private. In other words, if we build the library, we own the land, and whatever buildings we own there, we have that. Or do like the Winners did for us at the golf course, where they land, as long as the West Golf Course is a park or whatever, it stays with the city. If it's ever taken out of that, they get it back. So something like that, I think, needs to be looked at too.
And then, of course, you said, bring it before you think this thing should go before a vote.
I don't see any way with an 8% sales tax increase how it'll pay for it. So if it's going to at all impact the general fund or whatever, and that could even using the leverage of the sales tax to bond, that possibility that could come back on the general fund if they can't make the payments. So if it gets to where it's affecting the pockets of the citizens of Carson City, they probably should have a voice in it.
Okay, well, thanks for coming on and talking with us, and thank you for tuning in. Catch us next time, Our Town, Common Coffee.
At Carson Tahoe, each of our 1,100 professionals brings something special to this region.
My compassion.
My experience.
My skill.
My knowledge.
My commitment.
My expertise.
My dedication.
But we all share one common goal.
Your health.
Carson Tahoe Regional Healthcare. Here's